Hello everybody, here we are, and it's time to start working on the backend part of this Excalidraw clone project. So coming back to this one. Okay, so the overall setup is ready right now. Yeah, and let's just simply start working on this. So as for right now, what is actually happening? That we are just simply storing the data um, in the state only. It's not being persisted somewhere, and for that reason, we are gonna be using. Mm, just a sec. We need to have a DB and we need to initialize the database for sure as well. So ls cd db, and the another thing is that in that case we need to store the database. The DB that we are talking about over here, uh, suppose when it comes to deploying it, so at that time we will have to change the database. Prisma, this is insane. That's gonna be problematic. Or probably not, we'll have the generated files there. I think it will be fine. We'll be exporting Prisma from here, so no, that's definitely gonna be used. How will we handle this? I'm unsure about this exactly. I'm just thinking about the deployment part. If I am using turbo repo and I have db in packages, how will I handle it during deployment? If you are using turbo repo with the Prisma database packages in package DB, this is the very common production setup. The deployment strategy depends on where your backend is deployed. So we have our web app, we have Express app, DB, and all these things. Your package DB should be treated as a shared library, not something that gets deployed independently. Next.js backend recommended. So app, web app API, and packages. During deployment, version railway qualify, etc. Install dependencies, generate Prisma client, run migrations, start in next.js. Example build steps are gonna be sort of like this. Your layout simply import client from the separate Express backends, app and packages, deploy only the Express app and the directly when the build runs. So ultimately pnpm install pnpm filter add repo db prisma generate pnpm filter repo prisma generate deploy next again prisma. If I am deploying backend front end separately, so where should I keep the packages? If you are deploying the front end and backend separately, you have a few options. The packages slash db, you have two choices: a copy. I can't even speak to it. Most developers keep monorepo and deploy front-end version. Backend railway and qualify both deployments point to the same GitHub repository. Okay. The database URL only the backend needs. So the database URL. Do not expose it to the front-end Prisma client inside packages DB. For your current architecture, Excalidraw using Turbo Repo Prisma Postgres and ID structure it like this: app, web, initialize, frontend plus API routes, then Postgres, Prisma schema, and all these things. Recommended key packages DB monorepo. This is where it's gonna be deploy the frontend from apps web and the backend from apps API. Both deployments use the same Git repository. Backend deployment, the backend imports this. During the deployment, the CI checks out the entire repository, not just the app API. Only the apps API is built and started, but packages DB is available because it's part of repository. This is how platforms like this works, split into separate repositories. Ultimately, when deploying, I have to clone everything, then run just one. With the Turbo repo, the deployment service clones the entire repository because workspaces depend on each other. For example, DB API. So when deploying the backend, clone the entire repository, install all workspace dependencies, build only the backend and its dependent packages, start only the backend. Not really a bad idea. So we are gonna be just building the backend and we'll be running that only. DB is gonna be there. So when deploying the backend, clone the entire repository, install all workspace dependencies, build only the backend and its dependent packages, start only the backend. Yeah, not a really big problem. So pnpm turbo build a filter API, and then we have to just simply start that. Alrighty, so I was just simply wondering how would I handle it, and now it's sort of clear, like this is how it can actually be handled. So let's be fine with this. Next thing that we are gonna be doing, that's gonna be turbo